Welcome, welcome. Give me just a couple minutes here. We're going to get started. Happy New Year. It's going to be a good one, guys. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? Just kind of, checking out some charts for the new year. So, figured I would share. Not sure how much talking I'm going to do. Let's see what happens. But yeah, you guys are more than welcome to get on the journey here with the charting. Let me just give me a couple minutes here. Turn this down just a little bit. There we go. But yeah, having a good day. These charts are gonna get interesting, so I'm excited. You know, 2025 was interesting. On the daily, we do have Bitcoin trying to make a move, and that's okay. I kind of anticipated it. Wasn't really against it making a move. So here we are. As you can see on the DBSI, on one of my indicators, we're showing 19 on the daily chart for being bullish. So that's cool. Do I think we're going to go up crazy? Nah, I don't think we will. It's not, the 2-month chart, the 6-month, and the yearly closed, on the 31st. So yeah, it's I don't really expect a whole lot for Bitcoin this year. We will see relief rallies, etc., etc. We will be able to make money. Yes, it's not off the table, but we have to be careful, and we have to have a strategy, and we have to have a plan. So I suggest that you guys do that. It's all going to be about strategy this year. But Bitcoin daily, let's go ahead. I'm going to remove the DBSI, and I'm actually going to put on one of my little indies. So as you can see right now, we're pinched between the 8 and the 100 on the weekly here. Yeah, we're on the weekly chart right now. We do have a green dot starting, to show up. But the problem is that I was mentioning in my last videos is we got to see this stock get above this yellow line to confirm a big run, which on the weekly chart, we get 2 of those per year. We got a fake out here back in October, and it just flipped over. So could we get a nice little run? Sure, we could get a nice little relief rally. Whether we're in a bull or a bear, we always get those crosses. Those are going to mark our 2 biggest moves of the year, and that's what I'm looking for. So it's going to be interesting because we do have, some things coming up here on March that are not really that bullish, so even before March, we're going to feel those energies coming in. We haven't been able to really get a sustainable, uptrend going here. So let's see if she gets smacked down again. It's really possible. It's very possible. In fact, makes sense after a yearly close of the way we had it. Our 2-month chart, which let's go over to, because we're talking about Bitcoin here. Bitcoin runs the market, right? It's like the market leader. 2-month chart volume and the money flow going down. We got this cross of the stock to the downside here on our 2-month chart. RSI cross, our signal line to the downside. Yeah. And we got a red dot, that printed before the 2-month closed. That's pretty significant. It's pretty significant. And we are now officially closed under the 8-day moving average on the 2-month chart on the higher time frame. That's also very, very, very important. And just to kind of put it into perspective, let's look at our indicators. Okay, let's go back a little time of history here and show you how important it really is. Our last one where we crossed down like that, boom, March of 2021, right? When we closed below the 80, right? Was right here on this candle body. Did we go back up? Yeah, for a relief rally, but then boom, look what followed that. So can we make some money? Absolutely, we can make some money. But I think we should really pay attention and be careful here and not be foolish either. Because all I see is content creators saying, oh, we're going to keep, oh no, 2026 is the altcoin season year. Okay, I can't, I'm not going to tell you that it is or it's not, but it does not really look to be in the favor of an altcoin season. For God's sakes, Ethereum is struggling at these levels. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but hey, at least I'm giving you the facts, right? Giving you the facts. I'm not giving you hopium, just like beginning of the last market cycle with the total solar eclipse, a lot of people, it was looking bleak, and a lot of people were like, oh no, it's not going to happen. Oh no, we're not going to run up. We're not going to do this. We're not. Boom. I called it. Yes, we are. And we did. And it caught a lot of people off guard. And I think this is going to catch a lot of people off guard again, because all we see on the mainstream media is saying, hey, we're going up. Oh, the government is going to pump Bitcoin. We're coming to save you. Does that mean we can't make money, though? No, we can absolutely make money. So let's be realistic, too. But for Bitcoin, every time we cross below the 80, boom, done. Goes into massive downtrend. This is the 2-month chart. Higher time frames are nothing to take lightly. If you guys have anything that you want me to look up, tell you kind of where we're at and kind of look at, just go ahead and put it in the chat, and we'll definitely get to it. What are some levels we could see to the upside for Bitcoin? Okay, great. Let's take a look. I'm cool with that. Let's take a look. Because we could see some upside. You know, we're on the weekly, we're still below the 8-day moving average. We're pinched between the 100 and the 8, right? Yeah. We at least have to reclaim 92. Let's just say 92.5, right? In order to go any higher. Next level, 99,000. And then we have some more resistance at that 50, at 101, almost 102. But every week that passes, the 50 is moving down. So could we get pinched and go down? I think that's what the market needs in order for us to really get some upside going here and make some real gains. Can we make 10%, 15, 20% here and there? Absolutely. But I think we have to be careful. Still dealing with low liquidity. So I only suggest messing with high liquidity coins in this time, just by pure observation. Once we get a confirmed cross on the Stotch above 20, we'll have a confirmed rally. As you can see, even here, money flow on the weekly going down. Be careful. Be careful. Let's take a look. Let's take a step into the daily here. Take a look. Daily. Okay, cool. We're looking good on the daily. Getting stopped at the 50-day moving average right now. But we did have our RSI peak above the 50 mark. So that's good. Let's see what happens though. But this also, the Stotch, the momentum's pretty much at the top. So is this going to be sustainable long term? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think we're there yet. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Are we building some more support here? Yeah, we are. But I think we need to come down and test that market structure before we can do anything really great, truly. Which would be, in my opinion, extremely healthy too. Coming back and testing this range here would be very healthy for the market structure. Do we break below? I don't think we will in the first time around. I don't think we're going to. Now, do we break down and kind of do one of these guys? We go like up and sure, we can do this. We can totally do that too. Don't know if it's going to play out exactly like that, but that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. And remember, we can make money both ways. That's also something to be noted too, but it really depends on how comfortable you guys really are. So let's get into Ethereum. Ethereum's just stuck in this range right now. Got a lot of resistance, battling a lot of resistance. Can we make up for it? And at some point, yeah, sure, we can. But this range is very difficult for Ethereum. And then you add the low liquidity. That doesn't really help things either. So typically what I've seen in the previous years is liquidity doesn't really start really truly returning until after the Chinese New Year. We got a little bit of time left on that too. So, and then you add the esoteric twist too with the stars and what that's all saying. It's not really saying, not really, bullish in that regard. So again, right now is the time to get your mind right. Really focus on what you're doing, having a plan of action, and following the plan. And, this summer, I'm going to open up my beginner technical analysis classes once again. This will be the third year in a row. We always have summer classes, which is really awesome. As we get closer, I'm going to let you guys know about all that stuff as well. And, if you want to join, I'll give you guys a link when the time is appropriate. You can join the private group. And we're going to fire up those summer technical analysis classes once again. And it's going to be fun. A lot of people gain a lot of wisdom and knowledge from these things. And they have a new perspective on the market. And they can make better sound choices and decisions for themselves. But are we going to go straight down? No. We're not going to go straight up either. That's just not how the market works. Zcash, so far, high or low, which is fine, to be expected. Even if we came up and put up another top up in here and made a clean double top, that's fine too. That's very normal behavior. Bitcoin Cash, just staying in this range, hasn't really completely broken down yet, but kind of getting to a double top range here on our daily chart. So that's kind of interesting. Bitcoin dominance looks like it does want to break down, which would be fine. Can see a potential head and shoulders pattern forming here as well. Okay, cool. That could provide some relief for our altcoins as well, because the altcoins have gotten completely crushed over these last few months. Really 2026 or 2025 in general, not many things really did what everybody thought they were going to do. And that's okay. We got to take what the market's going to give us this year, and we got to make the best of it. So it's pretty much my analysis for this year. We got to take what the market gives us, guys. We can't be, it's not healthy for people to always be ultra bullish and all these things either. We have to look at this market through a clear lens if we want to have the staying power to stay in this market, because that's where a lot of people come and go. There's literally, I can count on one hand all the people that I know back from 2018 that are still in this market. Everybody else is like a ghost from the past. They're not around anymore. So if you want to stay in this market, you have to make smart decisions. You know, for God's sakes, we're having stuff come back and test 2020 lows. You know, some things are even finding new lower lows even past 2020, which is really interesting. There's some of these altcoins that are like at just all-time lows right now, which can be good, but you have to have good timing. You have to have good timing. You have to have great timing. You know, let's talk about XRP a little bit. This thing, you know, it had a good run comparatively for a lot of altcoins, right? Okay, cool. Well, now we're like, oof, we're coming down here, making some candle body closes in a range here. But if you look left, oh, what's this? If you look left here, though, look, we're testing the April 2021 top. You know, we're going to hold there for a little bit, but I don't think we're going to hold there long term. You know, really, we're looking for a $1.38 at some point here. Could that happen over the next couple of months? Yeah. But then guess what? After we come down here, we'll come back up here. Maybe even a little bit up in here. Or like a nice wick. But guess what? If you buy here and you sell up here, you're making money. You're making good choices. You're making good decisions in this market. And that's very important to have the staying power to stay in this market long term. There you go. Theta making a all-time low. All-time low. Way past the bear market lows. ICP threatening an all-time low. Happy New Year, SMA. What's up, Ronan? Gratitude to you, my brother, as well. It's all good. You're never late. You're always on time. It is all good. So, you know, that's pretty much my outlook for the market this year. And I really want to drive that home to people is you got to make smart decisions. Making smart decisions will give you the staying power to be here long term. So, you know, please make smart choices. I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody stay in this market long term. You know, RSR. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting down to the low bear market lows. We haven't quite reached that yet. Could we go lower though? Yeah, we could. Could we come up first? Maybe. If you look left here, we got some resistance, and that's okay. But again, in a low liquidity level situation, can't really expect much. After Chinese New Year, I do expect the liquidity to come back a little bit, but it's going to take some time, guys. It's going to take some time. And does the liquidity come back to dump for the total lunar eclipse? Probably. And that's okay. Because if you're out, you don't care. You don't care because you have no risk in the market at all, right? So whenever you start making smart decisions, you don't really care. You just trade what the market gives you. So that's what I say. You know, we'll use another popular one, Stellar. Look, Stellar's it's not like it's doing anything too crazy. If you look left, it's trying to come back and test some support. But as you can see, if you look back left long enough here, it's on this support right now. Could it kind of, you know, take a nice move up? Yeah, but only to probably come down and test these lowers here. You know, about 17.3 cents. Sure, yeah. Got a lot of support here at 12 cents. Could it break it though? Yeah, because guess what? We got some more support here too, but it's gonna be some time. All these things take time. You know, Be Pro. I love this one because in the past I've done exceptionally well on Be Pro, but look, this market cycle, it's just boom, making lower lows. New all-time lows. Zilliqa, geez, and you know, a lot of people's favorite from like back in the day. Boom, lower low. Look at this. Orchid, boom, lower low. But you see all these influencers screaming bull market. Well, I say bullshit. So, you know, you have to look. You have to take a look around. And you have to look at what's happening here. You know? That's just what I say, guys. You know? That is what I say. I hope, you know, you guys are all paying attention and really watching what's going on here, because I would love to see a lot of you guys hang around and stick around long term. I mean, so please, that's pretty much my message for the day is, you know, have a plan of action and follow through with that plan. And don't let anybody, you know, tell you different, right? I know these little bit of greens that you're seeing right here is like, oh yeah, we're back. Like, dude, it's only a few percent. Like, calm down, my friend. Calm down. It's only a few percent. You know how many times I've seen stuff like this will happen? It'll be like this. It'll be like a little bit of up for a lot more downside, you know? Like gassing up for another move down. So, listen, I love bear markets because it's even easier for me to take profit. It's way easier. I see something pop, boom, I'm taking my money. Taking my money every time without any conviction or care in the world, no matter what it is. It's a great feeling. And I want you guys to feel that too. So, please make smart choices. I want to get on this stream and be like, yeah, we're all crushing, we're all making money. That's the potential that 2026 has for each and every one of you. If you're willing to dig deep, you're willing to learn, you're willing to keep yourself accountable. You know, all these really very important things, you know? That's just a perp chart. But, you know, it's definitely a part of the plan. Pirate Chain is still one of my favorite coins. It is my favorite coin. It still is. And that's never going to change. Dia, I love Dia too. Shout out to Ronan for that. You know, he put me onto that back in 2025. And you know, we made some pretty good gains with that. Good to see you. Good to see you, Crypto Professor. What's up, my brother? How you doing? Yeah, so, you know, there's a lot of good stuff out here, but there's a lot of garbage too. You know, that's another thing that you don't hear a lot of people talking about because it doesn't feel good, right? You're not going to hear a lot of people talk about the stuff that doesn't feel good. In fact, most influencers will definitely try to evade by talking about the stuff that doesn't feel good because it doesn't provide likes, subscribes, and shares as much as, you know, the truth does. Because the reality is in this world, in this society that we currently have, everybody only wants to hear the good things. They only want to hear that they're going to make a bunch of money, they're going to be super successful, and that they're the best ever. Everybody on this stream right now can be the best ever. But the reality is, do you want to put in the work? That's a question for yourself. Do you believe in yourself enough to be successful? Again, a question for yourself. All-time lows. Look, we broke to the downside out of total chart. We tried to bear retest. Couldn't even really get there. Almost, but no cigar, right? And for you guys that haven't been riding around with me since 2018, let me give you a little background. I used to talk about XRP because it was one of the first things I bought, along with VeChain and you know, a couple other ones, right? I used to get a lot more views on this channel when I used to talk about stuff like that. When I used to tell people the research side of things. So maybe I might go back to some research videos too, every now and again. But hey, let's see what happens. You know, I'm open. I'm cool with fundamental research. Always have been. But am I going to sit here, you know, and tell everybody, hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you, XRP holder. You better get on your fucking moon suit, because it's about to get real. We're about to get rich tomorrow night at 12:01. The switch will be flipped. And I'm not mocking anybody. I'm not being a dick or anything. I'm just being real. So I really hope that you guys can not only do the fundamental research that it takes, but the market research and the chart research that it also takes, because the news, the news is news. Most of the time it's old news, and it's nothing that's going to actually move the market. But what actually does move these markets is the charts. You know, if you had $1 billion today and you were going to invest, are you going to invest based on news articles? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't know about you, but if I have $1 billion, I tend to keep that. In fact, I'm going to try to grow that, right? But if you're just going to make investments based on news pieces, I think you should also look at the charts too. Because most of the time, it's buy the rumor, sell the news. So, I don't know, guys. It's crazy. But it's okay, though. I know a lot of people won't understand. And a lot of people won't really get it, want to hear it, things like that. And that's okay. But at least at the end of the day, when I put my head on my pillow, I can sleep sound, knowing that I was straight up with everybody here. Am I always right? Am I always perfect? No. And if anybody tells you that they are, please run the other way. But am I definitely going to give you some great information? Absolutely. Are you going to learn some new perspectives? in the markets and maybe your own life? Absolutely. 100%. You know, SMA mentioned Dia. Ronan mentioned Dia. Yeah, we, you know, we got some levels here. 1272 on the retrace. Could come back down 2167. Right now, we got a little bit of support right here at about 2562. Do I see it holding long term? Not really, especially if we go into crazy bearish, territory and Bitcoin wants to dump down to 69K. Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to hold, but could be a buyer here, could be a buyer here, and long term could even be a potential buyer here. And I'm totally okay with that. In fact, I wish, I hope, yes, please give me more, sir. I would love to take that. I would love to buy that price. Zen. I was talking to Ronan the other day. Me and Ronan have a lot of private conversations because a lot of people, are not. They don't want to hear the truth. What can we do? It's okay. I love you anyway. Yeah, but Zen, yes, Zen. Interesting stuff. Zen, to me, resembles the Bitcoin chart, or not the Bitcoin chart. I'm so sorry, the Zcash chart. Obviously, do your own research. Zen is a very interesting one to me right now. Zen's a very interesting one to me right now. Could it pull a Zcash? Hey, it totally could. Who am I to tell you that it can't? What I do know is, good Lord, we've been in this range for 1,170 days. The old saying is the higher or the longer the base, the higher in space. Let's see. Can it make it happen? I don't know. It could. Or is it going to keep going sideways? Or is it going to dump? Me personally, I don't see this just going down like that. Could we come back and test these really lows at $5.43? It's not out of the realm of possibility, my friends. But this is a good range. This is a strong base, very strong base, very strong base. I like Zen here. I'm personally waiting because I know the potential of the next couple of weeks here, handful of weeks or so. So I'm kind of hanging tight. Silver? Yeah, look at that. Oh, we're going to go up. Yeah, okay. We had a little parabolic action happen. Perfect. We hit the 1272, but guess what? We're still under the 1272. When we hit the 1272, typically we have to come back and correct. Could we come back to $50? Yeah. Do we have to? No. But what do we know? We need a correction here. We need a correction. Double top on the RSI. There's no momentum in the silver market right now. And we got a red dot printed. Okay. Think we're in correction mode. Cool. Not even mad. Not even mad. Yeah, full moon. You know, but we have much bigger things at play than just even the full moon, you know? The 6th, we have Mars and the sun. You know, that's going to be big. Next week, I'll go over some more astrological alignments that are going to be unfolding over the next few weeks that are also not really the best for the markets. And then we also have a total lunar eclipse coming on March 3rd. That's something to really pay attention to too. You know, this is going to be the 3rd total lunar eclipse in a row. And it's just been crushing these altcoins and Bitcoin. Elrond Gold, all-time low. It's okay though. It's all good. No big deal. Potential later for this could be something. But another thing I do want to mention though, listen, there's going to be a lot of projects that don't come back after this. So please be careful. Do not misplace your money in a project that is no longer going to be active or doing anything or just gave up simply. And then you got the horse year. The horse year is literally the worst performing year in markets. And it's Bitcoin's enemy year. Okay. Really, just that statement right there tells you a lot. Can we still make money? Yes. Do we have to be smarter? Yes. Do we have to be wiser? Yes. Do we have to do our due diligence? Yes. The overall consensus of this market is going to be down. We're going to have some ups. And we're going to have some pretty good downs. So, but again, I could get on here and tell you fairy tales if that's what you want. But I prefer not to. One thing I will say, this is something I do like long term. Something I found back in 2021, which is CAR. I think it could do something. I think it could do something interesting. Real utility. Does it have to? Nah, it doesn't have to. But could it? Absolutely. 100%. Let's see what some of these other ones are. Yeah, you know, we looked at SD earlier. I just kind of scrolled through it, but it's, you know, a new low. Hitting some targets here. Can it break back above the 1272 and come back up? And, you know, yeah, sure it can, but who knows? Might have a little more down in it first. I don't really trust a whole lot of things right now just because of the liquidity factor right now. And a lot of things are going to be in the same situation, you know. You're going to have some anomalies, 100%. Oh, God. Let's get into this, too. Good Lord. I haven't brought this up on a stream in a really long time. Look at the fucking unemployment rate. I said that something is going to happen and spike this. We have a double bottom here. Let the games begin. Okay, cool. We break above 4.92%. Oh, we're going to go higher, right? We break a lot of this resistance here at 6%, though. Well, we're gonna open ourselves up for higher. Could something happen that's gonna spike this? Yeah. But the crazy thing is, look what the 1618 of this is. 36.95%. Good God. If it reaches that, something is going to massively shift and something is massively going to happen. You know, I'm not saying that it's, you know, going to immediately. This is probably going to take a little bit of time to play out, but look, you got green dots. It's looking super bullish on the unemployment rate. Stupidly bullish on the daily. Let's look at the weekly, because I bet oh, well, we can't look at the weekly. Let's look. Oh, my bad. It wouldn't let me look at any lower. But this is the monthly chart. Green dots on the monthly, for God's sakes, on unemployment. Like, if we could buy this, I would be like, buying that shit right now. Yeah, we're gonna have some good times ahead, guys. You just have to be patient. The name of the game is patience, and if you know how to play patience, then you can make a difference. You can make a difference. And the name of the game right now is preserving your capital, because that's what's going to keep you in the game. I really don't want to play this cycle of, oh, we're down, we're out. Oh, when's it gonna pump? Oh, another. Oh, no, we're not doing that. Let's just skip all that. Let's skip it all. Skip the games, skip the nonsense, and let's get to it. We're here to make money. And for anybody in this crypto space that tells you they're not here to make money, that they're here for anything else, well, I'd have to say they're not being honest with themselves. That's the sole purpose that we all got into this market, is to make money. Because in a world where, you know, things feel a little constricted at times and don't make sense, a lot of people came to this market for some hope of a better future. But in reality, you're going to shape your future in this market by your discipline and your actions. Pirate Chain, love it. I love it. I love it. Do I believe in privacy long term? You bet I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, definitely sell it like you stole it. For sure. Yep. Be buying these things. And yeah, dumping on the pumps because it don't make, you know, capital preservation, making more capital in bear markets. Like, that's where a lot of money is really truly made, and a lot of people really don't understand that statement. Yeah, sure, a lot of people make money in the bears, right? Yeah, or I mean the bull market. Yeah, sure, anybody can do that. But the real people that make real money, they make it in the bear market. So let's get it done, guys. Let's get it done. I hope that this helped. I hope it wasn't too boring. And if it was, well, what can I do? It's going to be fun. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for the potential opportunities that we're going to have. Remember, everything is perception. if you feel like you have no opportunities, chances are you're not going to have any opportunities. But if you can shift your perspective and look through a brand new lens, I think you're going to find a lot of opportunities this year. Not only in the external world, but in the internal self. That being said, hope you all have an amazing day. Happy New Year. First stream of the year. Let's go. Make those wise choices. And make whatever you want to happen this year a reality. Much love. Many blessings to everybody that came out. Much appreciated as always. And yeah, don't forget about the summer TA classes. It's going to be awesome. Going to be fun. It's always good. It's always good. This will be the third year in a row. So it's going to be fun. I used to do them for free, but I can't do that anymore. It's definitely going. The information that I provide is just too high value to do it for free anymore. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way. It's just, while everybody else was out doing other things, I was here at the charts for many hours a day studying. And I still do. So, yeah, high value information. So, much love, many blessings. I'll see you on the next one. Preserve that capital so you can make that money. Buy those local bottoms and sell those local tops, my friends.